Transform dull shots into vibrant scenes is our topic today on Luminar Coffee Break. Let's see what we can accomplish in 10 minutes or less, starting now. Hello, everyone. Welcome. So, again, this topic came up because during our Facebook group, I was quizzing people or asking people, what would you like to see in the next episodes of Luminar Coffee Break? And the insiders that are here today during the Zoom session gave me valuable input. So if you aren't part of it yet, please make sure you subscribe to our Facebook group, and this way you can work with interaction with our team. All right, well, let me just jump right in. Now, I'm going to start out with these shots. And actually, our good buddy Trish, who's here today, when I went to visit Milwaukee, she was with me when we took these shots. I'm going to select all these images, all right? And the first thing I'm going to do is I just want to process the HDR. You could do single image processing. In this case, I'm just going to drag them all into my HDR, and then I'm going to click this hamburger icon. And what I want to do is make sure that auto align, distortion, all of these are checked. Then merge. Now watch this. I purposely put these are orphan. I don't need them. But the old way of doing this in the old days is you could stick your number out 1 and you start taking the pictures. If I have the camera on bracketing, I want to think creative and not technical. So I just shoot away, and now I let Luminar, for HDR, I let Luminar decide which one belongs in which bracket. All right? So I don't need these, so I'm going to throw those away. I'm going to use these 3. All right? So let's just do a real quick HDR, just get the ball rolling. Once it's rolling, we'll get into making it very vibrant. So already you're going to notice when we do this, it's going to take each of those shots, and here it is. Look at this. And it merges the best of those 3. So one normal exposure, underexposed, overexposed, put them all together. Look at the difference, all right? Now, it puts it in HDR merge. Well, I don't want it there. So I'm going to move it, and if I'm not mistaken, I did, yep, right here, I did HDR. So I'm going to move it to my HDR folder. Here, that's where it came from. So I'm going to move it back where it came from. All right, and here it is. Now I'm going to add it to my album, just so I can show you guys what we're doing. All right, and here it is. Now, let's make a duplicate of this, create a vivid copy, so this way you can see it. And actually, you know what? Let me go back to that for a minute. I'm going to remove that virtual copy, because the first thing I do want to do is I didn't use a tilt shift lens. So notice the keystoning. So I'm going to come down here, optical, or actually transform. Let's see if that does it for me. It did a good job, but you know what? I want it. Yeah, I want it right there. There we are. All right. Now I'm going to create a virtual copy so we can see the before and after. Now, here I have it. It looks very good. However, we're going to make it better. I want the red to really jump out on this lighthouse, and I want the sky to really be enhanced. So let's go to Enhance AI. Watch this. Ooh, look at that. That one slider improves color, detail, tone, and depth. And now, look at that. I'm going to increase the sky. So we went from this. Even though that was HDR, look what we were able to do with it. All right. Now that's great. Still want to take it a little bit further. Let's take the black points or black tones. There we go. Bring it down a little bit. Maybe bump the shadows up just a little. Right about there. All right. Now that we have a good base, here we are, before and after. Before, after, we have a great base, but that red, you know what? When I saw it, that red caught my eye. So what we're going to do is come down to color. Now, I don't want to mess with these 2 here, saturation and vibrancy, because that's going to increase the saturation and vibrancy on the entire image. So think of those two as global changes. We want HSL, hue, saturation, and luminance. Now, I'm going to come in and I'm going to change the hue of that red roof. But watch what happens. Let's go to an extreme. All right, look at this. Now, I went to an extreme, but notice there's red in the brick, there's red in the trees. So if we do a before and after, look close. So do you see like these little extra that also has red is going to improve? All right, but I'm going to show you how we're going to fix that. That's you. Now, saturation. We're going to take that red, and we want either a bright red or a deep, rich red. I want to go with a richer one. And then the luminance, that's the white, the values of the luminance of the white points in the scene. So I like this, but I'm going to go back to saturation. There we go. That's what I like to see. Look at that. Before, after, but I don't want it on the bricks. I don't want it anywhere else except here and that flag. Well, masking. Brush. I'm going to paint the effect into this area here and into the flag. I don't have to worry about the sky because there's no red in that sky. Ready? Look at that. Before, after. Now, let's zoom in a little bit. Other than setting Trish up on a ladder and say, Trish, do me a favor, paint those other shingles red for me. You know, that's what you got, or that's what we have. I am going to change it. I can't just pick a color and paint with a color because that's a graphics tool. That's something you would do in Photoshop. But what we can do is this. We're going to come down, and I'm going to use the clones tool. And I'm going to select here. Let's just zoom in a little bit so I can see it. And I just want to go over these just a little bit. This isn't the ideal way of doing it, but it beats having to go back into another program to bring that in. Now I'm going to use the Option or the Alt key, select another spot, and I'll do this spot. There you go. All right, let's see if it makes a difference. Look at that. All right. So that definitely helped out. Yeah, look at that. Now, I have it all set. Let's see before and after. Before, after, yeah, for a minute, I thought that I screwed. Oh, that's a shadow. All right, so that's not a whole lot I can do there, but I'm going to leave it. So it looks great. Now I captured what I was going for. I was trying to get that vibrant look. Well, let's continue. If I come down to super contrast, look at this. Let's adjust the highlights. Now, just because we have these sliders doesn't mean I have to use all of them. Just try it. And if it adds to it, great. Look at that. If it doesn't, then don't use it. Look what it's doing to the grass. I like that. Right about there. Let's see. All right. Yeah, it added enough for me. And then I do want to come down to color harmony. Now, these sliders here, it's like you go from 0 to 1,000. So be careful, because watch what I mean. If I just put, let's say, like, look at this. If I put 37, or if I go to, let's say, 9, it definitely increases it tremendously. Look at that. So use it sparingly. That's the brilliance. Now, the warmth. Do I want to go with the blues, or do I want to go with the golden hours? Well, let's see what golden hours does. All right? Now, you decide. Is that going to make a difference? I think it will, so I'm going to keep it. All right? And then last but not least, last but not, let me just double check something. Yep, look at this. I'm noticing this right in here, that path. I don't want that path changed, so let's see where. Let's go to develop. I'm going to go back down to transform. I do want to bring it up just a little right up there. Good. And the neat thing about this, the history. Edits is your history. It's non-destructive, so I can always go back and adjust it. All right, let's see enhance. Nope, that's not causing it. Develop shouldn't be it. Nope. So I bet you it's with the super contrast, or I'm sorry, I bet you it's with color harmony. Let's see. Yeah, color harmony is going to be the culprit. Mask, brush, this time erase. Just want to erase this path. I liked, there we go. Still there. And then let's go down to super contrast, see if that does it. Brush, erase. Now, yes, I could copy the mask, but for now, just to make life easier with us, let's just do this. I'm going to go down one more. Color, mask, brush, erase. That wasn't it. Maybe it's just my eyes. We'll see. Yeah, I guess it's just my eyes. Yeah, it is. So, but again, that's not that big of a deal. I could go in and actually, you know what? I will because it is bothering me. So I'm going to come in here and go to color. This time I'll desaturate. There we go. I want to get this path here. That's what I want to see. Yeah, that's what I want. Mask, brush, paint. And I just want to paint it into this area here. There we go. All right, I feel better now. All right, so here we have it. Ready? Let's do the reveal. Look at that. Before and after, and actually will be a better option is to do this. There we go. Because remember, I made that virtual copy. So here it is. That's what we ended up with. And if it's too much, you can always dial it back. You can add another, let's say, color at the very, very top. And let's say just bring the saturation down just a little bit. Oh, too much. But then bump up the vibrancy. Yeah, actually, you know what? I like that better. And while we're at it, why don't we just pop a little vignette just to finish it off. There we go. And then inner light. Let's see if it makes a difference. Yeah, look at that. All right. That's a beautiful shot. And I'm so glad, extremely glad that my friend Trish invited me on my way. We were in Milwaukee on my way to Eagle Creek. So we stopped in Milwaukee, did a shoot with her, and then another shoot again with another one of our members, a Luminar Coffee Break. And then I made it all the way to my workshop. So there we have it. We went from a simple image by using that HDR. And keep in mind, you could use HDR on a single image. And a lot of times I'll do that just in, I mean, if I'm looking at an image, it's like, you know what? I just want it to pop. I'll drop it into HDR. In fact, what I didn't do here, in fact, let me go back real quick, is I get a little structure to this too. There we go. There we have it. All right. But the point I'm getting at is you take those shots, and what drew my eye to that image when we first started taking it was that red roof. And I kept saying, oh, I just wish that roof was just richer. I just wish the red in that roof was a little more bold or vibrant. That's how we could do it inside Luminar Neo. All right. So thank you guys so much. Now I have a couple surprises for you. First off, we're doing a new feature to where on our Luminar Facebook group, which I have it right here. Make sure you scan that. If you upload your images, which the group is doing incredible posting their shots, but do me a favor, because a lot of you are posting these images from beautiful locations all over the world, give a little backstory. And if you did something unique, which you'll see these next 5 images I'm going to show you, give a backstory on how you personally captured it. And don't be concerned like, well, what if somebody says, well, that's not the way I would do it? It doesn't matter. I picked the image because I really liked what you did with them. Give that knowledge to somebody else. So when you're on Facebook and you're posting images, if you want me to look at it and give you a quick review or a quick critique, please do me a favor and tag me in that image so I can check it out. Here's the images that we're going to pick. And let me pull up my notes real quick. Got it right here. All right, good. So this first one from Pierce, all right, I chose it because I love how the leopard just stands out because of the intense stare he has. Now, the sharp details in the eyes and the whiskers teaches us that focus is everything when you look into the soul of your subject. And in this case, it was a leopard. And just the entire image comes alive. This one is one of my favorites. Lance captured this beach scene, and I loved how he captured the sun perfectly framed through the bell. Now, it's a striking example of timing and perspective. It shows how even the smallest shift in positioning can turn a simple sunset into something powerful. I mean, if he just moved 2 inches to the left, 2 inches to the right, he wouldn't have captured it the way he did, and I loved how he has that sunburst coming through. If anyone has cats, you will know that when your cat is sleeping like this, that is the best time to whip out that camera because cats do not like to cooperate. So, what I love here, what Scotty did, Scotty's photo caught my attention because of the way the light pattern from the blinds fell across the cat. So the mix of highlights and shadows, it just adds texture to the scene, proving how light can shape the mood and bring out character in the simplest of subjects. Ooh, this is from one of our newcomers, Rebecca. Now, I chose Rebecca's image because of the golden light spilling across the stone arch and reflecting in the water. It creates a dramatic mood. It demonstrates how light and shadows can guide the viewer's eye and transform a dark space into a story filled with atmosphere and with depth. All right? So here we are. Oh, and here's my last one. My good buddy, Richard. Richard captures of the small bird. It impresses. I was just impressed with the clarity of it. You know, not to mention the fact he did this with a long telephoto lens. So whether he was on a tripod, that's why these backstories would be helpful, or he handheld it, just the clarity of it, in the focus, but most importantly, the decisive moment of timing. There's the bird. It's perched. It's posing. It feels like it's alive. Had he waited just a couple seconds longer, that bird could be moving elsewhere. The bird's not going to sit there and pose. So that decisive moment, deciding on when to take that shot, that's a reminder that patience and timing are as important as the technical skills. So there are those shots again. Let's review them. Awesome shots. Very, very creative people. There we have it. So we're going to start that new episode where I'm going to go on and I'm going to try to pick 5 of my favorite picks of the week. And then we'll put those on. Now, keep in mind, there's a lot of others on there. Check it out and you'll see what I'm talking about. You may have picked some of your other ones. And guys, don't hesitate. If you see a shot that you really like, compliment the person. If they don't have a backstory, ask them. I can't tell you how many times you guys have helped motivated me on projects. My good buddy Nick, he's been doing a lot of stuff with flowers, covered bridges. When I see this, butterflies was another one that I saw. I went out and started photographing butterflies. I even drove 2.5 hours away to photograph them because you motivated me. Use that community to motivate each other, and you'll see where we go from there. All right? Now, we do have, if you want to meet up with me, I will be in New Jersey next month. New Jersey doing this medieval workshop. If you want to learn about lighting, more about the decisive moment, shooting, how to pull emotions out of your subjects, and of course, a lot of photography tricks. Along there will be Bart from TNF Camera, Luke Freeman, who I mentioned, photographed every president since Jimmy Carter, and then Rick Farrow, who's a very well-known wedding photographer at Disney. Us three will be there with Bart and a group of highly motivated people that Bart has on his staff. All right. So if you're interested, there it is right there. Check it out. And if you go, make sure you meet up because that's a perfect time because we go out to eat afterwards and we do things together as a group where you could pick our brains, not just on photography, but the reason why we're with TNF is they're going to be there for the technical side. What camera lenses, what new camera gear, everything from reflectors to lighting gear, whatever it is. Now is your time to sit with somebody one-on-one and make informative decisions on your next purchase with your photo gear. All right? Now, if you're here with these Luminar Insiders, please stick around for the Ask Me Anything segment. For everyone else, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next coffee break.